Now, the person in need, please allow me to use the foul language that was used in this message. And they
You?
said, please advise me. I have been married for 10 years. Huyu mwanaume ako na wivu to an extent that huwezi toka. Akirudi apate nimetoka au nimevalia nguo smart, anasema nimetoka umalaya.
You?
I want to quit this marriage. Sijawahi cheza nje. Nimemwambia several times sina tabia ya umalaya, lakini hajawahi niamini. What should I do? Baby girl, I feel like sometimes when people are doing something, they think that everyone else is doing what they're doing.
Projecting.
So atakuletea your projection, kama yeye anafanya kila anafanya, atakuja ku accuse of what they are doing. And if it is true you've never stepped out on your marriage, then I feel like you already know the answer to this, because it's only so far talking word of mouth and accusing you of these things verbally only goes so far before it escalates. So before this behavior escalates, before you call him out one day in a fit of anger and say, hey, why are you always putting me on the spot for this? You know, before it gets to that part, if you have sat down with this person and you've explained to him and said, hey, it really hurts my feelings, one, when you come here and accuse me of things that I've never done. Two, never in our relationship have we even had doubts of this kind of thing, so I don't know where it's coming from. Three, where exactly is all of this coming from? Is this something you heard? Did somebody say something? Did you see something and you wanted an explanation but you couldn't ask for it, and now you're making up stories? Because in relationships, unfortunately, when you have a question mark and you're unable to ask this question, trust me, your brain will find an answer for it. Okay, you know that kapaket ile ya spices ya noodles, labda ilikatwa, the wind, you know, kitchen windows are open, the wind blew away that kakona. You found it in the sitting room when you came home, but because you didn't ask your husband, hey, did you cook noodles during lunchtime, now you're assuming it is a condom thingy. So I feel like if you've sat down with this person and repeatedly said, hey, I don't like it when you accuse me of this, it makes me feel very bad, it hurts my feelings, you're just walking on eggshells. So if you've done all of this, please walk away before it really escalates.
Yo, as a married woman of all of 2 days.
As a married woman.
Hey.
Okay.
I think I kind of understand the situation. Sometimes people have insecurities that build up over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Turi might be very correct in saying that you are projecting, the person is projecting. When you're doing something, you always think the other person is doing it. Mm-hmm. It's like if you always go to the back of the cabinet to lick the sugar, mm-hmm. and then you see someone going to the back of the cabinet, you're going to be like, hey, maybe they also lick the sugar, you know? So it always feels like a huge level of suspicion comes from simply having you having done something, and then you're assuming the other person is doing the same thing, and therefore it becomes like a confirmation bias. Like everything that they do, you're like, yeah, and even me, I did that, and that's why I think you're doing it. Even me, I did that, and that's why I think you're doing it. And this will happen over time. If you don't nip it in the bud, it will always pop up. However, I think there is always the underlying issue of insecurities. Some people are just insecure. Some people are just highly insecure about how they are, about their relationship, because of, it could be past trauma, it could be other trust issues that have developed in their lives over time. Like the insecurities stem from so many different places. However, they all accumulate into the same one thing, always thinking that the other person doesn't have the best intentions for you, and always believing that they will hurt you. And because of that consistent assumption of this person will hurt me, this person will hurt me, it starts to now become a level of self-sabotage. So you're like, before they hurt me, let me get out of it. Let me hurt them before they hurt me. And you start to self-sabotage yourself, and you start to get into fights that make no sense, and you start to make accusations that make no sense, because you can't really point your finger at what is the problem, like what is plaguing me right now. You can't pinpoint and say, this is what my problem is. I'm insecure because of A, B, C, D, and E. I just know I am feeling like you're going to leave me, and therefore I will accuse you until you fess up to something that you've never done. Again, insecurity, it's an accumulation. It will bubble up, it will bubble. This person hasn't just now started thinking that you're cheating on them. This has just been something that's been going on in the back of their mind for so long, to the point where now this bottle, it's boiling over. It's boiling over, and they really just have to talk about it. So what do you do in this particular case? Please sit down with this man in a very loving and civil way, because a lot of us also go with a lot of defensiveness. You're like, no, but why are you saying that to me? But like, me mbona nilikufanyia nini? Like, what evidence do you have? No, it's just like, hey babe, let's have a conversation. Where is this coming from? I just want to know, have I done anything to make you believe that I've cheated? Like, have you seen anything that I've done that would cause you or lead you to believing that I've cheated? No. Have you felt like I've been less than in this relationship, in our marriage, so much so that you're feeling like the only other explanation is that I am taking this attention elsewhere? No. Have any of my friends given you inclinations that I have done anything silly, or have any of your friends given you inclinations that I've done anything silly? And if then that is the case, what did they say? Let's talk about it. If there's nothing there, then no. Then finally, try and explain to me why you think I'm cheating on you. Like, just please explain to me where this is coming from, because I tell you with everything in me, I have not cheated on you. Can you please explain to me? Because I'm also trying to understand it. Just like have a very civil breakdown of this. Mbona unassume ni malaya? Like, nimefanya nini?
That's a very huge
Nimefanya
and
nini ya
derogatory
kukufanya
accusation.
useme mimi ni malaya? Like, what is it about me that makes you believe that I am a prostitute, or that I'm selling myself out, or I am sleeping with other people? Try and understand where that is coming from. And trust me, more often than not, it's either a projection, as Drew has said, or it is an insecurity that is coming up in the form of, I will hurt you before you hurt me. It's always one of those two things, never any other thing. Yeah? So have a conversation with your man. And if it feels like you cannot come to a resolution, also involve a third party. Another couple you guys trust. Call them into this conversation. Like, hey, this has been happening. Can you please just sit down with us and let's talk about it? Because maybe he will feel more comfortable with another couple that you trust to be more honest. I think that is how I would look at it. That's how I would approach it. And the
Small
you're calling someone a
accusation.
prostitute.
If somebody called me that, I would feel so offended. So now imagine the person you're living with. This is your husband who comes home every day and calls you this word. You know, it's a huge word. And no, sometimes you play it down and you minimize it. It's just something people say in conversation. But imagine you never ever having to look good. Huwezi vaa nguo smart.
Nope.
Because ukivaa nguo smart wewe ni nini?
You're a whore.
That. You can't even look good. You can't even like buy makeup and do something nice, or go to the hair salon and get your hair done and come and say, you know how good you feel when you wear something and you're like, babe, how do I look? Do I look good? And he affirms you and he reassures you and said, you're the best looking person on this planet. As in, other people should die. You know, that's what you're looking for in a partner. But when all you're getting is accusation and being abused, Aki babes, imagine.
It's very heartbreaking.
And it's 10 years. We do understand that that's a long time to be
10
with
years
somebody.
is a long time.
And there's a lot of attachment. Even if you have children or you don't have children, 10 years with somebody is not something small. But still, is it worth it to spend the rest of your life living in fear and walking on eggshells and never even looking good? Huwezi vaa rinda smart babes, sababu atakuaccuse